All right, let's see if I can do this intro pretty good. I like stumble on my words a lot,
Right.
so okay. Welcome back to another Okay, restart. And welcome back to another episode of Creative Minds Podcast.
Hey,
episode
5.
Episode 5, where
Episode
we
5.
talk about entrepreneurship, and we interview guests that are entrepreneurs, creative minds, and interesting people. And we got someone that checks all those fucking boxes. I'm super excited about this episode. I am your host, one of your many hosts, Jonah Coleman. And we got Caleb Tinwaldy and Gabe Martinez. And our guest, Nick Mullins.
How's it going, fellas?
Welcome. Heck yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Nick is a skateboarder from Toledo that has
One hell of a story.
One hell of a story.
Definitely.
And before we dive into like the meat of it, I'd like to take it back a little bit and talk about like how you got into skateboarding.
Well, that's quite a story, actually.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I used to play a lot of, I grew up as a crazy kid, ADD, all over the place. So I had to play something, I couldn't just be home driving my parents absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So there was, I think, Ohio Skate or something. I don't know. They started me in hockey, and I kept wanting to grab the puck, and so they put me as a goalie. And then after a while, like
how old were you at this point?
I was like 10. Somewhere
Okay.
around there,
Was this like a foundation, or what was this?
It's a roller rink.
Oh, okay.
Ohio Skate.
Okay, so
yeah.
your parents would
okay.
just
I know
drop
what
you
that
off
is.
there, and
Yeah, and then I'd play hockey and
Okay.
get in trouble. And so after a while, I played that, and I was like, okay, down with it. This was what I liked. And then we ended up moving to Northwood, Ohio, and there ended up being some type of fair at the mall right around the corner from where we were living. So we were, visiting and hanging out and, playing the fair stuff and doing all that. And I ended up looking back and seeing like bright words on a glass window and all this stuff, skateboard and skates and inline and all this stuff. And I was like, I want to check that out. Ended up going over there, after nagging my mom for so long.
was this in Toledo?
This was at the Woodville Skate Park.
Woodville.
yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now. Okay.
That's definitely bringing it back. I've
Yeah.
been there several
Right.
times.
The Woodville Mall.
Right,
I
right.
should say. So I ended up going in there, and I don't know. My mom dressed me up in some goofy ass suit, like some stunting ass one or two piece like mafia suit and some inlines like out there. She's like, go ahead. And I just went from playing hockey. I didn't even know what a ramp was until I was in there.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody fly around, and I don't know, somebody flew over a fly box, and as soon as I saw them like catch air and land graceful, I was like, oh,
Ooh.
that's it. That's what I
that's
wanted
cool.
to do.
That's cool.
And then got introduced to different types of sports, like, aggressive inlining and biking. I mean, biking was insane, seeing that like in the extreme form for the first time.
Right.
I throwing a piece of metal between your legs and confidently landing with hands on the no.
Yeah.
No. That's crazy.
How long did you rollerblade for? Because I know when I first started, like going to skate parks, like I rollerbladed there for a little bit too, just because it was like the easiest thing.
Probably rollerbladed for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I went from playing hockey, and then slowly went up the scale. But
Yeah.
I don't know. In between those like 6 years, I ended up picking up a skateboard and would just juggle those
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, the
whole
reason
time.
why I quit rollerblading is because people at the skate park would call me fruit boots.
Yeah.
I feel like rollerblading
Exactly.
never took off. You know what I mean? Like if
I mean,
you
back
just,
in the
like,
90s,
secret
it was a
rollerblade.
big thing.
Yeah, it definitely was, but like it never like actually made it full potential. Like, you know what I mean? It, like,
Yeah.
made halfway, and then everybody would be like, "Oh, you're gay" or something like that. Like that's stupid.
I'm gonna
like,
be
"Oh, man."
completely honest. The sagging of the pants went entirely too far.
Yeah.
At that time. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
people were airbagging trying to like 540 through the air.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was the sagging. It was what I think made it look worse.
And then you eventually picked up a skateboard.
Yeah, I owe 100% thanks to Josh Jarzinski.
Did you find skateboarding to come natural? Like since you had been doing other sports, was that something that just you gracefully kind of fell into?
Yeah, dude, as soon as my foot touched it, I took off.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to figure out how to fly through the air.
Heck yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 28 now.
Okay, so yeah, you're only 2 years older than me. So if you were rollerblading for 6 years, wait, when you stopped rollerblading, were you like 15, 16?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I got hurt too much.
Yeah.
I got racked on a handrail
Oof.
like way too many times. Dude, I was walking around with grapefruit in my pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Not fun.
See, I remember going to, what's the Toledo park? Highland.
Highland. Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
broken leg at the time from skateboarding. And I remember going to Highland with my buddy because he was my brother's roommate and a close friend of mine that I used to skate with. So we went to Highland and I was watching people skate, and you were one of the skaters there, and you were doing like massive airs. I was probably like 14 or 15 at the time, so you were probably only like a year into it or something like that. And you were
Probably.
doing crazy.
Told you, dude. I wanted to fly.
Yeah.
I wanted to float.
Yeah. All right. So you're getting into skateboarding, and then talk a little bit on your ventures of skateboarding before your accident.
Well, like I said, Josh Jarzynski, the owner of Woodville, anything he did, I don't know, just kind of in my eyes, looking up to him, like anything he did kind of turned to gold.
Yeah.
And he skateboarded. So like, and his style alone and like the way he does tricks, just ridiculous. So that was, I would say, a very gravitative visual thing to drive me to skateboard, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's which skateboarder you look up to when you first started getting into it?
Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the pros?
Yeah.
I feel like
the pros.
everyone's pro is like Nick, not Nick Mullins, sorry. Rodney
Rodney
Mullins.
Mullins,
Yeah,
Rodney
yeah,
Mullins.
everyone like praises him, the
Yeah.
freestyle skater.
I mean, he's just naturally gnarly, dude.
I
Like,
think-
from taking a board onto the ground and doing those things, completely way different platform of skateboarding.
I think when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out and they had those little like little clips, the mini docs or whatever, I guess, of each skater. And
I
Rodney
love
Mullins, I
that.
remember
I love
watching
that.
Rodney Mullins just over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
I think it was the same
he
for
was
a lot
like,
of others.
yeah, he was
Secret tapes.
the only one that really like
secret tapes.
stood out out of all the pros because he was like he had a different
Unique.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now when I was growing up, I watched a little bit more of Day One Song.
Yeah.
And that was like Rodney 2.0.
Yeah, he's him and Chris Haslam had that cheese and crackers video. Like that was crazy.
You mean the secondhand Bible?
Yeah, for real.
Skateboarding.
All right, so you were skateboarding, then Josh, and then when did you meet Steve Staffen, your filmer?
That was actually, I think, a couple years after the park closed. That was at Just Skate Shop when I was in Toledo by UT.
Were you sponsored by Just?
I was.
Okay.
I was.
yeah.
Scott Tutek, super good dude. Love that guy.
Yeah.
I was in there coming to get some, I think I just needed a board or something. And there was Steve. He just always had a camera, always down to film. And no one really like filmed with him. I never understood
Was he
why.
like a new filmer? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I understood.
Yeah.
Nobody ever really, I guess, gave him a chance. They would film with him occasionally, but never really like get down with him.
They had their own filmers or something?
I have no idea. I
Yeah.
guess. And I was like, "What's up, man?" You know, started chatting with him, and he was like, "If you ever want to skate or film or anything, you know, hit me up." And so I got his number, hit him up, and it was just gold from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some talent.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I remember around that time, I was watching all your skate videos too. I think from when I saw you at Highland, and then someone told me your name, I looked you up, and I think that's when you were at the beginning stages of you filming with Steve. So I subscribed to his channel, and I kind of kept up with all your stuff.
I didn't even know any of that stuff was really going down.
With the videos?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, Steve and I would film, and he would just edit his off.
Yeah.
He would just like, he'd be like, "Dude, brand new Coldplay came out, dude. I'm locking myself into a room. Like, I'm getting it."
Yeah, a lot of
that's
your
just like-
Viva La Vida and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
music choices are actually really good.
Phenomenal.
Heck yeah.
They sculpted my music variety
Yeah,
till this day.
mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. Like the MGMT, and then that one
I
chick song
agree.
and the
Oh,
Yeah,
Metric.
Yeah.
Metric,
Yeah.
Golden Guns or
Yeah.
Something
Something
like
like
that?
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
or Eat Me
He
Alive.
really sculpted
Something.
my interest in music too. So where am I at? Sorry, I have like ADD. So
Me too.
you started filming. You had a little bit of a following here in Bryan. I know like everyone that I used to skate like watched all your videos, and we'd always like discuss
That's
it.
so
and shit
weird
like
to
that.
hear,
Yeah.
man.
Growing up,
I'm
it
sorry
is
if
a
I'm
little bit.
fangirling right now. But like,
Growing
yeah.
up in Defiance, I feel like all the badass skaters were from Bryan. Like when we would skate around Defiance and stuff, like I would always hear about, oh, you guys want to go over to Bryan? Like, oh, you can't go over there because those guys are way good. You know
God,
what I
that
mean?
crew will
Like,
take you out.
yeah, Defiance didn't really have a park at that
no,
time.
we didn't.
though.
There wasn't anything.
Yeah,
like it
man.
was
Bryan
always
had
just,
our own park.
it was always just skating around like the school or something like that, or going downtown, just kind of skating around, seeing what we could
Yeah.
find.
Right.
Now
Back
the
then,
way-
that's all you needed. Though.
Yeah, that
Right.
that breeds
Right.
real skaters. So the streets.
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely.
I'm a park rat, so I'm like spoiled with ramps.
I am too.
Yeah.
The
Woodville.
first time I ever came to Bryan, right, my dad broke his ankle on the Bryan half pipe.
That happens. man.
Jeez.
That happens.
So he's up there, right, and bought the very first skateboard I ever had, and it was like, he's going down, it kept falling, and so he grabs the board and he's like, let me show you how this is done. And he gets up there, the guy's wearing sandals, and he's like, you know what I mean? So he's wearing sandals. You got all these skateboarders that are standing around, and he goes down the first time, falls and breaks his ankle. Like everybody had to
God.
like carry him up off the ramp and stuff.
Did your dad not have a background in skateboarding?
Yeah, no,
Oh
no,
my
he just thought it was
gosh.
like easy. You know what I mean?
I
like
give
he
your
could
father
do that.
props.
Yeah,
like
dude.
straight up,
Just
like,
fearless,
The balls
just-
Yeah,
on
just
that.
fearless. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, true story.
Flip-flops.
Like broke his ankle, had to have like 6 pins put in and shit.
Ooh.
Like, it was wild.
That's crazy.
I must be special because my dad actually has a background in skateboarding.
That's awesome. Though.
I actually skated majority of the time in Wasion.
Wasion.
I skated next to Mark Davenport.
Oh, there
And
you go.
I know you guys have a little bit of a history, have a couple videos together. Like, what is it? Was it like skating next to someone like almost equal skill level?
Yeah, what's your relationship with like Mark? Because I
Marky
see,
D.
I see like there's a few videos of just you two. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've always been mutually like homies. We'd see each other at the park. When I was younger, I had really, really bad social anxiety, so I didn't know how
Me
to talk
too.
to anybody.
Yeah,
and
me too, man.
When I would come up to the park, people would be weird to me. Like, I don't know.
Just the way that you came off, or what?
I guess, or something
Yeah.
like, oh, that's Nick. Like,
Yeah.
he's just gonna fly around. Don't talk to him. So like,
Just zoned in.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I would, so I didn't really know how to talk to Mark because I looked up to Mark. Seeing, I grew up with him skating at Woodville, and then, contests, I'd randomly see him there, but I never grew a strong friendship personally with him. But,
Yeah.
outside, hanging, like skating together, I've been hanging out with him occasionally just recently, and it's
Yeah.
been great. I mean, that dude is just a
He's gnarly.
gnarly,
He is
individual,
gnarly.
dude.
He launches off ramps.
I
dude.
love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's crazy.
I count.
He was doing that for as long as I can remember. I was like 12 years old skating with
Yeah.
Mark,
Mhm.
and he was like late teens at that
Right.
point.
Yeah,
He
there was
makes me
like
count, dude.
there
I
was-
count
there
when
was
he's
like-
in the air. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. There was like 3 big names in Bryan that everyone kind of like followed up with. Like one was Phil Science. He's like a Bryan native.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, he's gnarly. And then Mark Davenport, and then you, Nick Mullins. It's like everyone knew you
Northwest
three.
Ohio
Yeah,
crew.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's gnarly.
Yeah.
It's crazy, sitting here talking that everyone has this in common where it's like, skating brought everyone together. And it's funny listening to everybody talk about who they looked up to. And it's still
Yeah.
people that you locally know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you look up to these natives that have been doing this a little bit longer than you. And you're like, man, I want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Skateboarding breeds like a camaraderie that's like
Yeah,
different than
definitely.
like anything.
I feel like we've kind of moved away from that, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are too plugged
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah.
like they kind of
It's
push
too
everything away.
washed. It's all washed up now. It
Right.
seems like
Yeah.
everything's kind of like commercialized.
It is commercialized.
I don't want to say it like that. Like
Yeah.
commercialized.
I mean,
but
look at Nija. He's making millions of
Oh
dollars.
my god,
just,
Nija's.
like
I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of Nija. I'm sorry.
he definitely
It's just
turned
his
into like
personality.
something cruel. Yeah, he's not as cool as he used to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think all the fame just kind of went to his head a little bit. He's still a gnarly fucking skater, you know what I mean? I'm sure he's a different person, but just the way he comes off.
I can
yeah.
I can only imagine. I mean, from what I've learned, the documentary that he had a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that's
or
true.
whatever,
With his father and
I
his
can only
mom.
imagine like
He's like a robot. He's a skating robot.
I don't mean to talk shit about him.
Dial
Sorry,
in,
Nija.
dude.
Yeah.
he was forced to dial everything in, and once you've rounded those edges out,
He's a robot.
yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right, so when did you start like picking up sponsors? Because I know that you were flowed by DC there for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you flowed by DVS too?
Yeah, for through Just
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah. See, I think that's what someone told me when I saw you at Highland. I asked, and they told me your name and stuff like that, and told me that you were flowed by DVS. And at that time, no one around here was really having like
Nobody.
any kind of exposure. Like that.
Yeah. I mean, I was flow. It was just, and I don't really know how that stuff works.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
feel
being
it.
completely honest. I
Yeah.
just I don't know. I was a spastic kid with ADD.
Same.
All I wanted to do was skate. Didn't matter what I had on my feet, as long as it wasn't, if it wasn't broken, I was skating it.
Yeah.
So I never.
That's how my buddy Eddie Tressler was. Dude, he would have the most ratty boards, but shred, dude. Like shred.
If it
Shreddy
popped-
Tressler.
Shreddy-
popped-
Dude, you know if someone had a ratty board though and they was nailing tricks, he was like, "Oh, that dude's hardcore."
I mean, he would just
Yeah,
get
that guy's so
hand-me-downs because
hardcore.
like he didn't have a whole lot of money, so he would just get like hand-me-downs and just like he was one of the gnarliest skaters here in Bryant. He would be launching like you guys were, you know what I mean? Like, all right, come on. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. Where were we?
Sponsorships. And
Oh, sponsorship. So with the sponsors, I'm still having a problem till this day.
yeah.
I can't speak up for myself.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
God. Cut. Okay.
Phone's on vibrate. All right. Sponsorships. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I still have this problem to this day. I don't know how to reach out and talk to sponsors. I don't know.
It's just like the fear of rejection, or
No.
like,
I don't want to bother anybody.
oh yeah, if you gotta put yourself out there though, because you're gnarly, dude.
I don't know how to talk for myself. I literally am just like, hey,
You need
Hey,
a manager.
I know how to
I can skateboard, I think.
Yeah. Okay, just email one of your videos, dude. Of
Right.
you like
Exactly, right.
blindfolded
But
and
then-
just
Yeah.
shredding.
If I do that, if I email a video like, hey, dude, check me out, I feel like a douche.
yeah, you're humble. I feel it.
I see, and that word comes across, and I'm like, well, I just feel weird about the entire situation. I don't want to
Social
come
But
to
you're
anxiety.
just doing what you're doing.
I feel it.
I just don't want to ask people. I don't want to be like, hey, can I have some stuff from you guys? You
Well,
know?
Right.
yeah.
True
Yeah,
that.
I
But that's
feel
what
it.
they're there for. If
Right.
they sponsor
That is
you,
what
so.
they're there for.
Yeah.
Completely.
Because you have a big name, you know what I mean? They could sell some items off your name, you know, if you're wearing their shit. And sorry, I'm cussing a lot during this video.
I think
Sorry.
I'm pumping you up on that one too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing it.
It's all good. I just have to edit all this. But anyways, yeah, man. So let's get into
Yeah,
a
let's-
little bit.
let's get into, like,
we're at
You guys can
18
ask
minutes.
me
Let's-
anything,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the way,
we'll
so.
we'll save that part
Okay.
until the second half.
I'm down. So what was a daily routine as far as when you was going hard with skateboarding? What was a daily routine of you? You said all you wanted to was eat, breathe, sleep, skating. So what does that entail?
Back in those days, like, are you talking like Woodville days, or are you talking like filming with Steve days? Because those are two different.
I guess both. Explain both
Both?
of them. Yeah.
They all, I guess they all revolve around the same situation. Wake up in the morning, rock a heavy piss, play maybe an hour of video games, and then pick out some clothes that didn't smell bad, and then, find a way to find somebody that wanted to skate a spot or something.
Yeah,
That was
what kind of-
basically
What kind of games did you play back then?
back Grand Theft Auto.
Hell yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
What else? Ratchet and Clank. Crash Bandicoot was a big one.
Damn,
Jack
okay,
and
all the
Dexter.
oldies,
Right.
dude.
Those are old school.
Yeah,
that's
those
what
are
I'm talking about.
badass.
Yeah.
Those are
Mario
banger videos.
64 was the best though.
Yeah,
I'd
for
sit there
sure. Is that the
hours.
one where you like jump in the paintings and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
That and Mario
Yep.
Kart, dude.
Yeah,
Those were
definitely.
the two bangers. That and GoldenEye. All the
Yeah.
64 games.
GoldenEye. There you go.
Dude,
Yeah.
64 was just a hard console. Like it went so hard.
Had so many bangers.
Yeah, exactly.
If you,
Too
dude,
many.
if you had like more than 4 games, you were flexing on everybody.
Yeah, I grew up like following my brother around. He's like 6 years older than I am, so like I'd hang out with his friends, and they were all gamers, and we'd all play like the 64. And then the GameCube came out, we played that. We never had a PlayStation, but
and then Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero was
yeah.
a big thing. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yep.
That was skating with Steve days.
Yeah.
That was wake up, play Guitar Hero for entirely too long, and then realize I'm hungry, and then go skate.
How hard did you shred on Guitar Hero? I could never make it past medium. I was terrible at it.
That's really bad.
I was as passionate about Guitar Hero as I was for skating.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You was over there playing expert mode, just getting
All
it.
day, dude. I was like trying to get all the achievements. I'd like try to beat lefty flip, so I'd like flip upside down on my couch and cheat and play like, yeah, it's backwards, but I'm just upside down looking at it. Whatever.
Yeah. I just realized that I kind of feel like I never introduced your buddy Isaac.
Oh, yeah,
Is it Isaac?
Smith.
Yeah. Can you explain your relationship with Isaac?
Isaac is he's just some dude. I met him one time and
He just follows you around.
he just followed. No. He works
Actually, it's the other way around.
yeah, really. Now he works at one of my really close buddy, Logan Gray. He works at a shop as a upcoming really good tattoo artist. I don't know. He shoots himself really low.
Are you an apprentice or are you already an established tattoo artist?
I've been officially.
You can speak up on that.
Yeah.
I've been an artist for just a few months now.
Yeah, explain
Okay.
yourself. I can't explain for you.
I mean, I've been tattooing coming up on a year and a half now. But,
Okay.
I think I graduated, I think start of June, so it's just been a few months now.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, I met Nick through Logan, and so the artists, they've been buddies for a long time. So he would come and hang out at the shop for a while here and there, and just got talking, and he's a cool dude.
That they're at a secret window.
Okay.
Is that
Hell yeah.
now you work at a tattoo shop? You both do?
No,
Okay.
Well, who?
Nick,
Nick,
are you working the phones? I think Brad told me that you're
I
like.
used to.
Yeah.
I used to do a pretty mean turkey tats too, like the hand turkeys. You want one? I got you.
Hell yeah.
But you guys were talking earlier, and like the whole name recognition thing. There was one time that I remember Nick was behind the counter just chilling, and he had a dude getting tattooed. I was doing a tattoo, but it was another guy working on him, and somehow Nick came up and he's like, "Oh yeah, that guy, I know him." He's like, "Yeah," and he was like, "He's a cool dude, isn't he? Like, it's crazy." He's like, he's just crazy, and then he's like, "Yeah, he's sitting behind the desk right there," and he was like, "What?" I think
Yeah.
he was scared to even approach you at that point too.
I don't know why. I've had.
You come off of people as like you're, at least for me, like you're on a pedestal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's,
like,
it's kind of
low-key
intimidating
like a
meeting you
celebrity.
just because
That's weird.
like you got a name, man. You got a name for yourself.
I feel.
The build up to this podcast. These two over here are just fanboying the whole.
Dude, we're
for the
fangirling.
past couple. The past couple of days, it was like
Yeah, you made a post about like
Dude,
going
they're
out and
MySpace searching and shit from like years ago.
yeah, I actually had you on MySpace.
Did you?
Yeah. But this past week or whatever, you posted a status saying that you wanted to go out there and film some skateboarding or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, and I
And
tagged
then-
you in it.
Yeah, Gabe tagged me
I
in
saw
it.
you.
Yeah. And yeah, you were just asking for like a film or whatever. Me and Caleb are videographers, so like that's why he tagged us in it. And I commented on there like I could never take Steve's spot, you know what I mean? And then he
I was like, hey, how about we just get him on the show?
yeah, and that's when I messaged you and asked you because I don't know why I never thought of it. I don't know. I guess I just put you on a pedestal.
Like
you know what I mean?
further than podcast.
Right.
level.
Yeah. I just
Maybe
look
when you guys
we're
get a
not
TV show or
worthy.
TV show.
yeah. I no homo. I just look up to you. You know what I mean? So it was kind of intimidating reaching out. And then
That's
once you said
crazy.
yeah, I was like,
something.
yeah, I was so excited. I was telling my girlfriend, I was showing my girlfriend all your videos and stuff like that.
Probably getting
And
sick
she's
of
like,
it.
how's he skate? Like he's not even looking at the board. I'm like,
You don't need to.
yeah.
It's the
It's
feel.
like it's all
Yeah,
feel.
it's
Like
all
he's
feel.
crazy.
I get
Yeah.
that so much, dude. Some people like, cause when I skate half pipe, dude, I feel like I look like a zombie, just like looking up into the sky, just
Yeah. I feel it. It's unique though. You know what I mean? Like it sets you apart. But we're coming up on that break time, so we're gonna
Yeah.
go to break.
Let's hit a break, and
Yeah.
then we'll be right back to talk about some good stuff.
Yeah, let's dive into the meat of the story.
Yeah.
Sick.
You know, it never fails. Every single time I go to deliver a wedding film, I get all nervous and I get flustered and I start stressing about it and doubting myself whether or not the film was good or not, whether they're gonna like what I created for them.
Everyone a chance to take. You can see it if you close your
I want to give them a little bit of me through that film. I think that's what's really captivated me in filmmaking, is the fact that I get to convey my message, what I see through the camera, to others. I want to make content that people see and that people remember for a lifetime.
All right, and we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah. All right, so the second half, I'd like to dive into your story, and
Definitely.
I keep calling it an accident, but it's not. It's not really an accident. It's just kind of like a
Just what happened.
unfortunate
Right.
event.
It was an accident.
And I think
It
this
was
is-
an accident.
No, I don't know.
Oh,
That's all just a mystery to me at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask questions about it.
you
I'm just
didn't.
like,
You couldn't like figure out exactly what it was from.
No.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, let's.
How are we gonna start this?
I
off?
don't know, yeah. Just go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Let's
So-
let's just talk about what happened.
Yeah.
the hospital stuff.
Oh, I mean, just kind of explain it for like the people listening and stuff, like
Oh,
the beginning
for-
of it,
for
like
who
what started happening.
Doesn't know about it.
Right, yeah.
Well, when I was about 17, almost 18, I was filming with Steve. I was just always out there filming with Steve, trying to just get clips and have fun. And we were out filming one day at this like dirtier kind of like warehouse kind of thing. And I just fell super hard and got road rash on my hip. After a couple weeks, I got some weird like pimple boil thing, and then slowly turned into more and more and more, and went to the hospital. They didn't.
Did you
properly-
start feeling like?
Oh my god,
What?
it was the worst.
Yeah.
Beyond flu feeling, like just drained. I couldn't feel my legs after a
Oh.
little while.
Okay.
So the infection ended up going through my body, and they didn't know how to test for what was happening to me because nobody knew about it yet. It was still
No one knew what it was.
Yeah, and it ended up being the MRSA staph infection. It was just
Which that's kind of like
That's
a
pretty
common
common,
thing,
yeah.
That's
isn't
a-
it?
yeah.
it's common now, but back then it was just like what
Oh, really?
what's
It's not-
eating people alive?
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it wasn't big back then.
No,
Okay.
no.
I mean, when I was in football, they talked about it, but
Yeah.
that was several years after this.
Mm-hmm.
My woman actually got staph infection from a bad tattoo one time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where you hear mostly, at least for me, I hear about staph a lot just from tattoo culture, I
and
guess.
just not like cleaning properly. and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly.
Well, there's something about that as well because I just got my chest done, just a couple pieces done on my chest right when I turned like 18,
Yeah.
and this was like as the MRSA was setting in. So I got my tattoos and skated and fell, and they didn't know if it was from the tattoo. They didn't know if it was like from me falling, if it was from like because I sat on a tack.
Yeah, I was
like,
just gonna
all
ask
kinds
about
of
that.
stuff. Like, I mean, I skate.
You're a skateboarder.
I
You
always-
have
Right.
you have
Yeah,
Right.
There's
bumps
always
and
gonna be-
bruises all
yeah.
over you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know how it is. Like
Yeah.
always scraped up.
that's. I mean, when I'd get home from the skate park, from beating the piss out of myself and skate, I'd just pour alcohol on myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it could be anything at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
So
Now, when all this was going on, I guess like what was kind of your thought process? I mean, inside was you obviously you're going through this. It hurts. You're extremely sick. I mean, what did you think was happening? Did you think he was like dying? I guess.
I
I'm
had
sure he didn't.
I had no idea
Yeah, he
what was
didn't.
going on.
Yeah.
I was like, I have the worst flu that anybody could ever have, but I don't have congestion. I'm not sneezing. I'm not coughing.
You just feel like
I just, it felt like someone was sucking the soul out of my bones.
Yeah.
Slowly. I didn't have any thoughts about it though. I was just like, okay, when am I not going to be sick? This is weird. It's like
Right.
the end of June. I have the flu. This doesn't seem right. And then,
So you eventually go to the hospital first time.
yeah, the first time I went, and there's some doctor, crusty looking little bastard. He was just like, nope, you're fine. That's folliculitis, or folliculitis or whatever. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's just an ingrown hair. Don't even worry about it.
What?
You get it from wearing tight pants. I was like,
That
okay.
doesn't make sense.
Thanks, man.
Right.
Judging me.
Yeah.
I
Judging
feel
Judging you.
horrible, and I got an ingrown hair. Thanks.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And not to mention the head of it was the size of a nickel. So I'm like, that's a pretty good, ingrown hair
Right.
guy. So I go home and just slowly get worse. And then I reach another point where I'm like, I'm dying because I can't, like, I'm looking up into my ceiling, laying on my bed, and I'm seeing like shit floating in my eyes. I can't eat. I'm not thirsty. It's like this is bad.
Yeah.
And then went in again. Same thing. Folliculitis.
Yeah.
You just got an ingrown hair. Go home, take medication, eat some ibuprofen.
Was this the same hospital or was this a different spot?
The 2 times I went were the same spot, and then I went to a different hospital when they admitted me.
Okay. Well, you were skating a contest or something, right?
Yeah, well, in the midst of all this happening, after I fell, I ended up, like, as I had this MRSA on my leg and stuff, I was still skating.
Yeah.
I was feeling sick and painful, but the opportunity, because I didn't drive then.
Yeah.
So I had friends that were coming around giving, like, opportunities to go skate these spots that I haven't really skated at the time. So I was like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
Let's go right now.
I'm going to
Right.
duct tape my ass and my hip. Let's go. Like, I don't care.
Also, this was a time. So you were flowed by DC too, right?
Yeah.
And
At
did
this
you
point?
you ended up going to California, right?
Yes.
You skated for like a video for them or something like that.
I think it's called the water cooler video or something.
Okay. Was this before that happened, or
yeah.
was this like right in the middle of it?
This was before, like right before it happened. I came back and this was almost about a year. I was skating for DC and Flow.
Okay.
And then a year later, I ended up getting sick.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt the story real quick?
for it.
How did you get introduced to DC? Like, how did they find you? Did they reach out, or did you reach out to them?
There was the, the Kettering skate park that
Yep.
Rob Dyrdek.
Yep.
Dude, you're.
Oh my!
Oh my God, your contest.
That was the contest that they acknowledged me, because I never sent
Damn.
anybody anything, and I just showed up there one day or while the contest was going on, because Steve originally hit me up and he was like, "Yo, dude, like there's this contest, you got to go." I'm like,
Okay.
I don't want to. I want to go hang out with my girlfriend. I'm 17, I'm ready to just kick it. And he's like, "No, dude, come on." I'm like,
So that was a good move.
yeah, it was a great
He's
move.
looking out for you.
Yeah, he was
I
definitely
remember
looking out.
watching that video. Oh my God, you killed it, especially that rail. And I remember you like tray flipped that. What is
The
it? A
monster.
12?
It's a
yeah,
it's
dude.
a monster.
So
that's like a-
nonchalantly.
I brought one board that day, and how it stayed together, no idea. No idea. I 3-flipped that before the contest, and the 2 tries before I landed directly both feet in the center. It
And
was-
it didn't break.
It didn't break. It didn't break.
You must have weighed like 100 pounds.
Oh my
Dude, I don't know
God.
what was going on that day, but I'm pretty sure like the earth and everything, like gravity was just not on par.
It was helping you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through like
Right.
3 shirts. I was like, is this like multiple days or what's going on? Like,
Well,
I remember
they're
you
giving
were
them
just
free
giving you
shirts.
free shirts.
Well, come to find out later on in life after my hospital thing, I found out I have, what is it called? Hyperhidrosis,
Okay.
where I have an overactive pore system, I guess. So I'll
Do you just sweat a
as
lot?
soon as I reach that temperature, I'm sweating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why like almost any Instagram clip, like summertime or anything that I
Yeah.
post, always got my shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm not out there trying to be douchey, like, "Hey, what's up? I got some tats, dude. I try to stay thin, you know."
Yeah.
No, it's just like literally my girlfriend gets grossed out because I'll come home and I just have these just sopping wet shirts. Don't even look at me. Take them straight to the washer.
All right, we got a little off track.
Sorry about that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
let's-
you're fine. That's Gabe's fault.
I know, but I wanted to know how he got.
Yeah, no, I
he
was
didn't
just
want to reach out.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, let's get back to, I guess, the story. So you're getting sick. What's you've gone to the doctor now a
This
couple
is the
times,
third visit.
right?
Yeah,
the
this
third
was
visit.
the final, like
After the
final
contest.
countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I skated that contest, and after that contest, I felt really, really sick. Like when I got home, because I was supposed to go to dinner with my tattoo artist, the one that did the chest piece
Okay.
at the time. So I was still healing up my tattoos, and I was really close with him. So I skated this contest and was like planning on going to dinner, but I just felt like shit. And then after that day, nothing. I couldn't get up. Like
Yeah.
every time I tried to get up, it was just a struggle. Like I was fighting to like stand up, and then like I said, I still even went and skated. And skating, it just felt like I was like a ghost.
Yeah.
Jumping, like I would give all of my effort to jump. It felt like I had like 80-pound backpack on.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Did you do well in the contest? What happened?
I won. Trying to avoid saying anything. It was honestly one of the best contests I've ever skated. It was just
And you were like dragged down like from the sickness. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
well, it wasn't. It was the hype of the contest. Like I think because what
adrenaline.
Did it give you energy?
Yeah.
no, the MRSA, what it does is it's a nasty little whatever it is.
Yeah.
It gets into your muscle and it roots itself down all the way to when it finds a blood vessel, and then it roots into that, and then boom, it's all through your
Everywhere.
body. That's it.
Damn.
So I
crazy.
think skating the contest, getting all sweaty and my pores being wide open
Right.
and
Yeah.
my blood, circulating so quickly, I think it finally rooted itself into my blood system,
Yeah.
and all that adrenaline and my blood pumping, it
Pumped it
finally
around.
popped in,
Damn.
and that was it.
So you go to the third hospital.
Yeah, the third hospital I go to.
You go to sleep though, right? You,
Oh,
you
dude.
wake up the next day or something.
Well, this is all hazy to me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it in the most simplistic form I can.
Okay.
It was more or less of like I got there and before I got there, I had to drag myself out. I was like, I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't walk. I was like dragging myself to my father's room. He swooped me up, threw me in his van, got to the hospital. I'm sitting in like the waiting room to and there's people looking at me like, what are you guys doing? Take him in. Like he's dying,
Yeah.
and then they finally get me in. They don't even check my vitals or anything. They just immediately put me down, and they get this giant needle to take spinal fluid. And as soon as that needle hit my back, my head hit the table, and then I'm waking up like a month and a half later with no vision.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I guess that's, conveying that to everyone else. You can't see now, correct? You have no vision, or do you have
Zero.
some
Zero.
vision?
At the time you had a little bit though, right?
When I first got out of the hospital, I had a very, very slight retinal, pieces of my retina that I could see out of,
Yeah.
but it was never clear.
Yeah.
It was always just kind of really hard to see shadow.
Yeah.
You know.
You had like foggy peripheral vision or something. I think that's how you explained it.
Yeah, just like honestly a bottom left corner of peripheral that they were trying to work at to
Yeah.
because they were trying to do as much as they could to save it, but there was just too much damage, too much
Yeah.
scar tissue.
So they put you in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
And then a month and a half later, you wake up. At this time, Steve is like doing everything he
He's
can
putting
for
out
you.
Update videos.
Yeah,
on
he's
a
he's
pretty
selling
regular basis.
T-shirts
Yep.
and all that stuff. You had like a 1% chance to live.
Yeah.
And so I remember him selling T-shirts that had the giant 1%. I don't know if it was him or the Barracks.
that was the barracks.
That
Got
was the
a hold
barracks?
of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, when this is all going on, now you guys were following this story,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Now-
following that.
Yeah, exactly.
crazy.
So-
Yeah, Steve's update videos where they were just text and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My heart was like heavy, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like empathetic, no homo, but
No,
like
you're
I
good.
was like, damn, dude, like I'm looking up to this guy and like he has a 1% chance. Like that's
pretty slim.
that's
Right.
damn, dude, you know what I mean? And so
I
yeah,
didn't
the
know.
whole skateboard community was
Yeah,
kind of, especially
expect-
around here, was kind of like, damn.
Right, and especially for someone who has a promising future, you'd already had winning some competitions, you was getting some sponsorships and stuff like that,
Flowed
and
by
for this
big
to happen,
companies, yeah.
I mean, one thing I would like to say about everything that happened to me, I am super bitter about what happened to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how how everybody like kind of saw me as a person, and all these friend groups that I had, like what happened to me brought a lot of Ohio together.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people that,
Yeah, for real.
I noticed it after I got out of the hospital.
Yeah.
People were going out and skating all the time. Not, I'd see those groups before, and they'd be like few and far between. There'd
Yeah.
be like 2 or 3 of them,
Yeah.
like smoking cigarettes and throwing rocks at scooter kids. So
Yeah, man, the whole that impacted the skateboard community around here, especially
Definitely,
in Ohio.
it really did.
Yeah.
that's one thing I can say that I'm really happy that came out of my situation.
Yeah, I feel it. So yeah, Steve Staffen,
The boss.
the
man.
the boss. If I haven't said that, is putting out these videos, trying to get some like fundraising stuff, or I don't know, trying to get your story out there, updating people that know you and all that stuff, on like your current condition and all that stuff. And then a month and a half later, you wake up, right? And then I think he updates. I think he updated just saying like Nick woke up after the 1% scare, you know what I mean? And then I think like how long ago after that were you in the hospital until you were able to leave?
Oh, dude, I fought tooth and nail to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
As soon as I woke up, I knew I was pretty clapped up.
Yeah.
I was like, first things first, I want to walk. It's like that was my
You probably
main
have
thing.
like atrophy, right?
All kinds of dude. It was
Like you can't walk after you're in a coma or something like that.
Well,
your muscles.
right.
And,
what happened in the coma was pretty insane.
is that what the atrophy means? Sorry, I'm like speaking terms that I don't really know.
No, you're good. So what happened at one certain point in the coma? My liver and kidneys shut down.
Yeah.
So I wasn't pushing any fluids like through my body. I wasn't, cycling anything. It was just going in, not going out.
Right.
So at one point, I was about 245 pounds of pure like water weight.
Whoa.
And I went from like 160 pounds, like just thin white dude,
Yeah.
to a blob of just death.
Yeah.
And then a week later, after my kidneys and everything kicked back up, I dropped straight down to 90 pounds.
Yeah, I remember
90
seeing your
yeah,
interview video, and
yeah.
it was.
Look, hey, my friends always joked around. Oh, look, it's the Holocaust version of Michael Jackson. What's up, dude? I was like, oh, thanks, guys. You guys are really hyping my confidence up there.
Jesus.
Now as you're,
I love those guys.
as
though.
you're trying, as you're making this road to recovery, are you hopeful that, thinking that you're going to be able to still continue with skating, or is this, at this point you've realized that skating is over with? Have doctors told you that you're not going to be able to do certain things? I mean, what was coming back into it? What was your thought process? I mean,
I really, from the hospital, I honestly had like some, not brain damage, but mentally, I was set back a few years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was like 18, 19, I was essentially like 15 or 16 mentally.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, if you watch some of those videos, like you can hear it. Like I go into like a total kid style, rambunctiousness.
Yeah.
That was probably the hardest thing coming out of that. So honestly, that was
Did you
that was a
notice
gift.
it, or was?
It caused me to be ignorant to my situation.
Oh, okay.
So as bad as things were, I was just being a kid and didn't care about anything. I was just happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize like the complexity of the situation,
Right.
or even like what the barracks and Steve and everybody were doing at that time. It wasn't sitting in.
Yeah, we didn't say that while you were in a coma, the barracks caught wind of your story, right?
Yeah.
And then they started selling T-shirts, the 1% T-shirts to kind of help fund stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
How much did they end up raising for that?
Somewhere around 25,000.
Damn, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was beyond helpful
Yeah.
for the situation because my hospital bills were insane. I mean, all that money went
Right.
to my father to put money for certain bills, and then after a while, it was just so much. I mean, I think my dad said the bills got up to like 1.2 million.
Jesus.
And he was like, I can't
Right.
do anything. Like, yeah, you're getting this money to help out with the bills, but he's like, it's
not
just
enough.
it's not even touching
not
the
even
surface,
making a
kid.
dent. Yeah.
They were, I mean, I am beyond thankful for everybody in the barracks and
Yeah.
everything they did. Like, I'm trying to hold tears back on this.
Yeah.
But my dad, like, just seeing him, like, watching his kid basically die, and then now he took all my bills in his name because he wants me to
Damn.
have, fresh start, and he just broke down. He was like, I have to go bankrupt. My life is right now, but you're alive. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, Dad, we'll get through this,
I
but
feel it. You're
Yeah.
his baby boy though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, I feel it.
The
I
love
mean-
that a father has for his son, it's unmatched. I know personally, I'd do anything. I have 2 boys, and I'd do anything for them. I'd hate to see either of them, put in a situation like this. But thank God that you're here. You know what I mean? You have an amazing story, and you're able to go forth now and talk to people about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It has helped just talking about it in general, because I ghosted myself after all that stuff. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere on social media. I mean, I'll post a clip or something, but
Right. Yeah.
I ain't talking back to them.
Right.
Right.
Now, how long was your I guess road to recovery? How long did you spend trying to gain back just normal
Strength,
normal
yeah.
functions, of a day-to-day life?
well, after my narcolepsy episodes from getting out of the hospital, all I wanted to do was sleep. One day I got really, really, really depressed. I didn't want to get up or do anything. I thought this was just my life now. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just like the crypt keeper, skinny, want to sleep all day. I'm just nothing. I'm falling apart. You know, I just was really hard on myself. And then one day I was just like, what am I doing here? I just lived through something that no one should live through,
Yeah.
and I'm just wasting away doing nothing.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yep.
All those people that prayed for me and, put effort in and everything that everybody did, just kind of, my consciousness finally popped through.
Yeah.
At one point
Right.
where, after the glow of like me living, and then I finally was like, whoa, shit, I'm an adult now.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Whoa.
What now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do with my life? Because now I can't see, and I have like barriers now.
Yeah.
So,
You got a bunch of different obstacles you need to,
yeah. But,
learn life again, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of starting over, now you have to relearn how to do everything from putting shoes on now to, basic eating, stuff like that.
Yeah. Now I can really say I can do it with my eyes closed.
Right, right.
So, yeah. So then,
Mm-hmm.
after you get out of the hospital, you kind of,
By the
recover a
way,
little
I'm
bit.
giving you guys extremely scattered answers.
No,
for
you're fine.
The certain reason of what I have coming out soon. So,
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
got it.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that. It's a mini doc or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's this guy Nick Maher, super good dude. Just reached out to me one day on Instagram and asked if I wanted to do like a little documentary acknowledgement video type thing, and I was like, I've pushed these away for so long, I might as well.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want any more information, stay tuned to that. We'll definitely share it on
Yeah.
our page. And
Yep.
That would be
definitely.
rad.
We'll
if you
promote
guys
the
could.
crap out of it.
Right.
So, what was I saying?
The hospital. After.
Okay, so yeah, then you go to the barracks and you're you go there for one of the Battle at the Barracks finales or something like that.
Yeah.
How was that?
bet
How was
that
that
was insane.
experience?
P-Rod and Chris Cole.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
yeah. P-Rod ended up giving me his winnings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It was just
That is
donation.
crazy.
Shout out to that. That's awesome, man.
That
Like,
man
How-
is. a
How
gift
long
from
did it
God.
take now for you to get back on a skateboard?
Back on a skateboard. Probably from out of the hospital 9 months.
That's awesome, dude.
Because I was just so skinny. I had my arms. You could literally touch your fingers through the bones in my arms.
Yeah.
I was just so skinny and weak. my friend, I'd skate with my friends, and when I would fall so slow, like just like slowly topple over because of how like no muscle mass or anything.
And so then you start picking up skateboarding again and all that. Talk about your venture doing that. Like, how is the
Like, how was the
battle?
learning curve?
Yeah,
like,
how
what,
was
what
that?
did you
Sorry.
start skating? Like, did you just go straight into the mini ramp stuff?
After I got a little bit of leg muscle from skating flat and wearing ankle weights,
Damn, you're training.
dude, I was going for it. Yeah, I just got pissed one day and I was like, "This is stupid. I want to skate again."
Right.
So, I at that point, once I was able to do like kick flips and ollies and heel flips and all that stuff, I was like, okay, ramps now, and I somehow just gathered enough balls because I was like, in my head, I was like, I just beat the shit out of myself through a sickness. What else? What else can I put myself through?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Right.
So I'm
Definitely.
at the skate park in, I think, Michigan, Lower Michigan, Parmalee.
Okay.
It's another one of those diaper ramp, slippery, break your back type thing.
I
It's
grew
just-
up on that stuff.
Yeah. So I dropped into the little half pipe there, and I hit the other side, and I was like, "What's up?" So I from that hype from that, they have like a 6 or 7 foot quarter on the other side of the park. So I just was like by myself, didn't give a fuck if anyone was around. I just walked over to that, and I was like, if I can get this, I'm good.
Yeah.
I dropped in, made it all the way to the bottom, rolled away, and then I was like, okay, time to start learning stuff now. I got that. I could drop in, and then rock to fakies and all the fun stuff happened.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work and a lot of falling.
Yeah, I guess from the outside, like watching your videos and all that stuff, I guess I never really thought about like your whole battle with learning how to skate again, because like when you started posting videos again, or Steve started posting videos again, you were fucking shredding and you're blind.
You would never even know.
You
that
wouldn't
you're
even
blind.
know. The only
Right.
the only tell that you had is that you're looking straight. You're not even looking at your board anymore. You're doing crazy flips and the rock to fakies or blunts or something
Dude,
like that.
as soon as I drop in, it's zombie mode. I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what's going to happen?"
So yeah, you gotta have excellent fucking skateboard feel for that.
I do have to say, it is a lot of muscle memory, like
Yeah.
riding a bike.
Right.
Right.
My muscles, from what had happened, they didn't they got depleted, but they didn't lose all of that
memory,
all
yeah.
that memory. So I basically just had deflated muscles in my legs.
Right.
I gotta ask, if you're about to fall, what's going through your head right now? So you're out skating, and obviously you can't see. I mean, we was talking about this before. Like, I can't even imagine just falling down on a skateboard, going down a ramp or something, and
not
you're just
knowing where
not
you're gonna
knowing
land.
where you're gonna land, how you're gonna land, nothing. You don't know anything to it. You're just
You
falling.
have to bird box it. You know?
Yeah, it's either the two things I think of: please don't impale yourself on the end of a rail, and please don't hit your face.
Yeah.
Everything else, I'm like, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, being blind and skating, dude, I eat shit. Like,
Yeah.
I slam like a sack of potatoes sometimes.
I just
But-
watched that video where you tried to ollie down that set or whatever. You have to-
Yeah, the Instagram post looks great because I'm like, oh, frontside 180, check it out. But realistically, like, dude, I penguined, I slammed my hip, I just Air Jordaned it one time, just didn't left my board behind. Like,
yeah.
It's awesome.
My favorite one, it's on Instagram. You're at like an art museum.
oh my god.
So they've got like an elevated
Actually, I wanted to bring that up at
it's like
some
a
point.
museum or something.
Uh,
it's like an elevated
It's
Half pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
He lands something. It's kind of like a little wobbly.
Yeah.
And he just goes to just walk off and just falls like 3 or 4 feet just right on the floor.
Jeez.
Yeah, I
Oh,
must.
jeez.
I split my nutsack open a little bit on that
Jeez.
one. Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, I want to make sure
We
that
got to break.
Yeah, we reset the
Okay.
cameras. So we're gonna go to break really quick, and we'll be right back.
Cool.
Let me fall from grace. forget my face, as if time says on and on and on.
My shin's stopping my board.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a good time. Pain's up.
When I gaze, but you know I took more than my words, choking on wicked words. You cut my tongue out my mouth and said, boy, I'm the tower you're searching for. What looks I have left? You can call me by his name.
And we're back.
Back.
Kind of headbutted the mic on that one.
Dramatic effect.
All right. So where we were at, we were talking about getting some hair off me. Okay.
Looking out for you, buddy.
All right. So you get out of hospital, you start learning how to skate again. How long was it until you started like full force skating?
Well, after that one drop in that I had off the big quarter,
Yeah.
I went right back to that half pipe, and it was, like I said, it was on. Like that day, I think I got like rock to fakies and tail stalls and 50s, and then from that, it was just slowly gathering back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more muscle I got, the more tricks I got.
I imagine the confidence boost that you got from that, from like landing the first few tricks, then building up, and at this point you're just like, oh, I got this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that first roll away from like when I did my first blunt to fakie,
Yeah.
that was like the biggest like stress reliever. Like it's like orgasming for the first time.
Right.
I was like,
Right.
oh, I want to do that again over and over and over.
Right.
That's
when you're skating mini or quarter or anything like that, like rock to fakies are cool, you know what I mean, fit axle saws, 50-50 grinds and all that stuff, but like blunt is like the trick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blunt is
That's like, all right, I grown up. I'm a big boy now.
yeah, that's the
the
level
blunt.
up point, you know what I mean?
Day one.
And so I remember I just watched a video recently of you playing skate, but it was a blunt 420 blunt contest.
yeah, the 420 blunt off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, because you beat him in that video, you know what I mean? And he's not blind. He's just a regular skater, right?
Yeah.
And you beat him.
DJ, I think his name is DJ LaCavalier.
Yeah.
I'm
And
pretty sure.
he's not like your average skater. Like he's
No,
good
he's
too.
good.
He's
good.
super good.
His blunts make me jealous because
They
when
have
he pops
massive
out,
pops.
boom. dude.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just land. He all wheels hit perfectly simultaneous. Just
Yeah.
Boom.
He's got
every
That's
time.
a good feel.
He's got that
Yeah.
Torrey Pudwell pop.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that game was fun. I was at the tradition of 420.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Everybody smokes, blah blah blah. But it'd be funny to do blunts 420. So
Right,
all
right.
all blunt tricks.
Hell yeah, that's crazy. I don't even
I
think
didn't
I
even
have
see this.
enough. You haven't
I didn't
seen
see
it?
this. No.
Yeah, we'll show you after. It's crazy. I don't even think I have enough blunt tricks in the bag to
Do
finish
5
a whole
tricks?
yeah, a
I
whole
don't think
game
so.
of skate.
I can teach you, young grass smoker.
Okay, and then also I'm just like plugging your videos now. The Cold War part.
Oh yeah, that
one
one.
of the gnarliest mini.
I would
Mini
put it
pipe
up there
fucking-
like on a pedestal along with like the cheese and crackers video. Like,
Yeah.
I was
well, you're
just-
being
so
too
good.
nice.
Yeah, I'm serious. I watched that. And I was just like mind blown all night
Even for
last
like
night.
yeah, even for someone that can see, that's a crazy part, and you're blind and you're landing all this shit. I don't know. I'm
had the-
fangirling right now at this point.
Well, I mean, modern.
Yeah, you are.
Modern gave me the opportunity to have such a beautiful ramp at my disposal that
Yeah.
all I wanted to do was just, dude. There was a point where I was gonna ask George, like, can I put like a cot under the ramp? And I
just
wanna
live
wake
there?
up and get that crystal coffee, pour it into a cold cup, and go for it.
Right?
How often do you skate now?
I try to skate as much as possible, at least a couple times a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, dude.
It's cold now though, so
Yeah. Yeah, Modern. That's in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Where's
I've,
that at?
I've been there once.
Royal Oak, Michigan.
Yep.
I think North Stevenson, somewhere North Stevenson,
like
Highway 12.
How far
mile.
is that from BG?
From BG's? But you're looking at it maybe an hour and 40 minutes,
Oh wow.
maybe an hour and 35.
Yeah.
Depends. It's adjacent to or a little bit above Detroit. I'd have to feel up a map.
Yeah, I skated there one time, and I've skated that many that you were shredding in the Cold War part, right?
It's bigger than it looks, doesn't it?
It's a lot bigger.
How big is it?
It's a
Dude,
6 foot.
Yeah,
It's a 6 foot, but like a true 6 foot. Like
It's
it-
true
Yeah.
6 foot, and then the other side is like 7 with a 9-foot extension.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Oh
So
my
I don't think
God.
I don't think I'd be riding that. Honestly.
That's scary.
Have you skated the Napoleon half pipe?
Yeah, yeah.
That's like what I grew up
Um,
skating on.
What
I
is it?
like
I've
that
never
ramp.
I've never skated.
I
it.
like that ramp.
Is it
Like
nice?
the-
Yeah.
What kind of
It's really
material is
mellow. It's skate light now.
Oh, really?
The only thing I really noticed about that ramp was it was a little bit. The flat was wider than I'm used to. So you got to
It's
wait
long.
longer. Yeah.
It's long.
Yeah. I like that.
You
I
lose
like
a
how
lot of
that
speed.
the roll-in part is. I like that part.
Right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that coping that pops out.
Oh,
I hate it.
that's bung
Yeah.
bung coping. Dude,
That's
every
the
time you
worst. I've
can't do a
been-
tail stall.
Yeah, I've been in the like indoor parks, and I think they're like more made for like bikes. I think it's the Fort Wayne Park that I'm talking about, but their coping sticks out so
It does.
far.
It does.
Mm.
And it's like I can't do blunts on it. I can do rock the fakies and kind of like I gotta kind of push for 50-50, but
Hey, that's what makes you better, though, dude.
Yeah.
That's all the spots that you skate and stuff. Like
They're all unique.
they're all unique, and there's always something gritty to every
Yeah.
single spot.
I
dude.
was held back in my skateboarding. I was spoiled with our skate park, and I never really ventured out. I skated like here and there, but it's a super slippery skate park, and I learned on a super slippery skate park. So now I
Mhm.
can't really skate street. I can't go to like. I'll go to Fort Wayne, but their terrain's just different. You know what I mean? It's harder to do
Yeah.
flip tricks because I'm used to that.
It's
slip.
smooth and grippy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about like your day-to-day life now. So what are you up to?
Well, currently not much has changed besides video games.
Yeah.
I wake up, drink about a pot of coffee,
Yeah.
make breakfast, play with my dogs and cats and my girlfriend, and yeah, I don't do too much now. My life is pretty limited at this point. Transportation is one of the most annoying things in the entire world for me.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, we need to get you a Tesla.
Yeah, that would
definitely.
that would be a dream, honestly.
Yeah.
I
They're not at the point of like full auto,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
You still got to stop at stoplights and stuff like that.
I
But
mean,
like
a few
they're
more
getting
years,
there,
few
man.
more years,
Yeah,
and
they're getting
we'll
there.
be there.
We were
Yeah.
just gonna do a podcast after this one in a Tesla, but the guy's GPS ended up taking a crap on him this week.
See
so.
that? Could you imagine a blind guy with like trying to go somewhere and the GPS? I don't know where I am. Who do I call?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But it's not out of our future that maybe
Yeah.
we're gonna have the autopilot.
Next 5
and-
years.
Yeah, you
Easy.
can
Yeah.
get a car.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super hopeful for it. I
Yeah.
mean, transportation is one of the things that holds me back the most.
Yeah. for
What's
sure.
what's some projects that you're working on? I know Jonah then was mentioning some stuff that you got coming up.
Yeah, Isaac beside me here, he's the artist that I want to work with, and I am working with. I'm starting up a board company fairly soon here called Orenda, and the meaning of the name Orenda means like the force within that drives you to do things.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
I
like
love
that.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
So, and I don't want like a corny name, like
Right, that's a-
power. you
Yeah,
know?
Right,
and
right.
that's a dope name, and it's like super thoughtful. There's like
Yeah.
meaning behind it. you know?
Right.
And I'm Indian, so like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of it's an Indian word.
Okay.
that
Yeah.
It's like spiritual in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're working on that right now. Should be, I don't know, sometime maybe after Christmas. I should have some product coming out, but it's
Let us know for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely like to
We'll,
plug
we'll
it for sure.
definitely.
I
plug
definitely
it.
like to hook you guys up with some stuff too.
Yeah, that'd
Heck
be
yeah.
dope, man. Yeah. So outside of this board company, are you gonna do like clothing and glasses and stuff like that? I know when you were living in Colorado or something like that, you had like a glasses. I don't know if you were sponsored by some glasses.
I
or
was
something like that.
sponsored by a company called Flashbanger Shades.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were a Canadian company. But they definitely, I owe a giant thank you to them as well.
Yeah.
They definitely hooked it up. I had thrown a couple contests, one being at Oakland Vert, another skate park up there in Michigan.
Yeah.
And he sent me some product, and I got to throw out a bunch of glasses for everybody. And
Nice.
but yeah, Flashbanger Shades was a pretty dope company for a while. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I just lost contact after a little bit, but
Okay.
haven't heard
Yeah.
anything.
Wow.
Let's talk about, because how long after this whole thing went down did you move? Because like I feel like you went straight to Colorado or something like that.
Dude,
How was
there's-
that curve?
There was a shitstorm of stuff that happened. This was one of the reasons why I was so depressed.
Yeah.
This girl that I was with for a long time, come to find out she was doing some nasty shit behind my back,
Oof.
in and out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
and then come to find out, like, she's like, oh, we're having a kid. It's yours, by the way, and then she didn't want to be with me and drug me through this giant just patch of shit. And
Yeah.
I just was like, I'm going to be a bad father. I'm too young for this. Like, and she's nagging at
Just
me
the
saying
fear
I'm
of
just
it,
a
yeah.
bad person and all this stuff. Like, come to find out, like, it wasn't even mine. She made me look like this just
Jesus.
horrible person.
Right.
And I'm not saying anything bad towards her. I mean, I
Yeah.
am, because she really used me like a shit mop.
Right.
But
Not to mention
she
the
was
time and
young.
situation that
Yeah.
kind of messed with you.
Yeah, we both were young. We shouldn't have been doing what we were doing.
Yeah, I feel it.
But I completely lost where we were going.
Yeah, moving.
Oh yeah, moving. So I had all that, and then towards the end of her pregnancy, I knew in the back of my mind it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
So I needed a break from Ohio. Like, me being
Just get
sick.
out of here.
Completely
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah, I got sick here, and then that all happening, and then my friends slowly started, dwindling away. It was just a really lonely pit
Yeah.
time for me. So I took the opportunity to go out to Arizona, and I moved in with Mike Kersey, if you can remember that name.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah,
he's
he-
from Toledo.
No, he's from Arizona.
Oh,
I moved
okay.
out to Arizona. Was
Okay.
the place. Glendale. Mike Kersey did a car wash with his brother and his friends and everything, and raised about $500 towards my fund and everything, and
Hell yeah.
worked his ass off and made these bracelets and
Yeah,
got
yeah.
them out to everyone. I mean, he really did put my name out there, just doing what he did. And
Right.
so I grew close with him and moved out there with him, and things were awesome for a while. But then, like I said, at the time I got set back mentally. So being out there, I was in my teenage kid ways still.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he was a bit older and I was a bit younger, and I was like not caring about life at the time. So I kind of was like, maybe I've come off like a dick, like I didn't care about stuff and I was rude. But I mean, he was an awesome guy.
Yeah.
He gave me the opportunity to get away from everything and change my life a little bit and get better perspective, which in turn made me grow.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely agree with that. Sometimes you have to extract yourself out of the
Mhm.
situation in order to assess what's going on, reevaluate your life, or whatever the situation might be, and then come back in a mental state where you're stronger and better than what you was before.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, for sure. And then you were in Colorado there for a little bit, right? Colorado.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. I was just all over the place, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
and then
there.
you go to Michigan. You
Yeah.
end up moving to Michigan.
Traverse City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
went
way up there.
Yeah. Yep. Burn out the heat,
Yeah.
Arizona to another cold place, or just a colder place. So
Right.
yeah, I just at that point I slowed down on skating and everything. I don't know. I wasn't really taking it as serious because I started, being a 19-year-old and
Yeah.
started like wanting to have fun,
Right,
and
right.
drink and do all that shit. So
I know that feeling.
slowly drifted into that for quite some time, and slowly but surely came back into skateboarding.
Yep.
And honestly, every friend group I ever met someone skated.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
it always just ended up gravitating me.
Inevitable. Like,
Inevitable.
It won't let you go, man.
it's your destiny.
Yeah, for sure. And then that brings us to today. I already kind of talked to you, or you already kind of talked about that. And then what? Yeah, I guess it's time to wrap it up a little bit. I would, if you're down, would like to go out and skate and try to get some.
You know, I
Just a
think my
couple trips.
biggest thing too that people kind of pull from this podcast is, you know, everybody has situations and struggles that surround them, you know, but it's how do you transition out of that struggle to better yourself? You know, like you said, you can't sit there and you can't be depressed with with your entire life. You know, things happen, whether or not it happens for a reason.
Yep.
You know, I'm not one to say that, but you know, it's based off of what your mental state is coming out of it. What do you perceive yourself to be doing in the future? Do you want to still be sitting there being depressed about your situation, or do you want to grow and make something of it and you know, provide people with information, you know, to better their lives?
Right.
You know, and I think that's where this podcast that we have this goal that we want to better other people's lives through the people that we talk to.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
And
you
there's
guys are doing a great thing.
yeah, thank you. There's nothing wrong with that grieving stage or whatever.
Yeah,
Everyone has to
definitely.
go through it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, if there's anybody out there that's going through, you know, a grieving stage of some sort, it's fine or whatever. But
You're
you know,
not
you gotta,
alone.
yeah,
Not
you're
alone.
not alone.
Right.
Everyone's
Definitely
going
not
through
alone.
something, but you know, you gotta eventually
Gotta
stand
break it.
up and break the cycle. And
Heck yeah.
I mean, there's a certain point where, you know, it's a type of acknowledgement that you gain after a certain, I don't know, it's just through life. It
Yeah.
was something that I reached that put me into this mode that, you know, life is going to beat you down and give you just the worst hell.
Yeah.
But, you know, it wouldn't give you something that you couldn't handle.
Right.
for sure.
And, you know, the only way to get back to being strong is battling all of these things that life throws at you, you know. And if you
Definitely.
give up, life is going to look at you like you're just a speck of dust.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
all you
yeah.
were.
Yep.
If you don't try, it's just going to move on
Right.
right without you and not
Yep.
even look back.
Yep.
Grab it by the horns and make your mark.
Dude,
Right.
I mean, why not?
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
if you're just sitting there scratching your ass playing video games all day, you know, what you're going to look back when you're 90 and go, yeah, wow, I have no stories.
Yeah, you know,
GTA was dope.
I feel like a lot of people that do, you know, they hold that bitterness in and stuff. Later down the life, you know, they want to always bring up, oh, well, I used to do this and that. Well, why aren't you still doing that? You know,
Yeah,
you were the
exactly.
one that gave up on it. And I feel
Exactly.
like it's acceptance. You know, you need to accept the situation that's happened and you need to move past that.
You can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You just, as soon as you find a comfy groove that you fall into,
You better get out of it.
you're screwed. You're
Yep.
screwed
Yep.
because life's gonna turn staticky, and then you're gonna wake up in the morning like, blah. I
Yep.
don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to. Got to keep it fresh. Got to
Yeah,
keep
for
moving.
sure.
You know.
For sure.
I agree.
Going back to the video thing, I feel like our generation, when we're 90 and stuff like that, our war stories are gonna turn in like Call of Duty stories.
Yeah. Jimmy. No.
There was a camper and
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
There was this one time where I hit a guy with a car right off a cliff, and then I threw a grenade at him. You know.
All right, we've all done that. What
Yeah.
else?
oh yeah.
Right.
You know.
All right, so
Right on. Well, hey, you got any social media that you want to toss out there by chance? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's my Instagram is Nicholas Mullins, modern skate and surf. You guys, obviously,
hell
you
yeah.
know,
Thank you.
and
Thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
I mean, life.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
everybody. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I feel it.
Right on. Well, I'm stoked to be seeing, you know, future products that you got coming out. Definitely want to keep staying in touch and see what we can't do for future-wise projects and whatnot.
Maybe get you on here next year after your board release.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Actually, have some product to throw at you
Yeah.
guys.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
We'll
by
stay
the
in
way,
touch, man.
by the way, we will be in a new location too.
Yeah.
by
There you
that
go.
time, so.
Yeah, it looks
yeah.
pretty dingy around here, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's cold. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No,
it's a little bit
no,
cold.
It's fine.
All right. So, thank you guys for watching. I
Yep.
guess.
Good episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real. I was
Yeah.
super excited about this.
definitely. I appreciate it, Nick, for coming and talking to us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Heck yeah.
All
You
right.
guys are awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye bye.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out.